Men adapt, women just moan. If you think about the modern society, or old society, or society as a whole, just think about the role of men versus the role of women, and how men have changed and women basically haven't. In days of old, back in the day, as they say, men would basically go out hunting with a spear and, hunt down a saber-toothed tiger and drag it back to the cave, where the woman would be waiting. She'd be waiting in her reasonably, let's say, tidy and warm cave that she'd got a fire running. Probably the fire had been made by the man, but we won't go there for a moment. But she'd be sitting in her nice warm cave, and she'd cook the saber-toothed tiger and, look after the children and whatever. And the man would go out and do whatever he needed to do. Spool forward a few thousand years, and the men would go out to work in the mills and they would look after the machinery and bring back a pay packet and maybe some food to the woman who would be in the cave, aka the house, and she would cook the food and look after the children, and the man would do whatever he needed to do. Maybe they were farmers, so the man would, work hard as a labourer in the fields, tilling the soil, and he would bring back money or food back to the house, where the woman would cook it and look after the children, and the man would do whatever he needed to do to put food on the table. Spool forward again, men would work in offices, designing things and doing whatever they need to do in the offices, and they would make money to buy food to bring back for women, who would then cook the food, look after the children, because they would be living at home. Now, you must be able to see from that men have adapted. Men started out, with spears, dealing with the saber-toothed tiger. Then the world moved on and they had to work on the land. Then they had to move on and they'd be labourers and things like that. Then they'd move on and work in offices. And as offices have changed, the requirements for things in offices, you had slide rules at one point, now you've got computers. Men have had to change for that. And all through this time, women have basically sat at home, looked after the home, looked after the kids, and done the cooking and the cleaning. So basically, men have just adapted. Women have basically, they've swapped a cave for a house. But basically, they've done exactly the same thing all that time. And men have just got on with it because, we didn't have a choice. So now, women have decided, it's quite cushy sitting at a desk working on a computer. Quite fancy that. So then women move into the workplace. But oh dear, the workplace is a bit too hot or a bit too cold, or people are a bit mean, or people don't give them a nice job, or the canteen's too far away, or it doesn't serve the right food, and they want to be vegan, and they don't want to be called Mrs., they want to be called Ms., and they don't like how men look at them, and they don't like how men don't look at them anymore, and they don't like being forced to tell what to dress, and they don't like being told that they mustn't dress a certain way. And all they do is moan. They're just never happy. Moan, 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 moan. Not fix and do, you notice. Just moan. When they're given a job, it's the glass ceiling that's stopping them doing better things. When they get through the glass ceiling and they don't get any further promotion, that's because the men are stopping them doing that. And of course, when they run the companies and the companies fail, that's because the men ruined it first. Moan, 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 moan. So what's the solution? Well, either women get true equality, egalitarianism we call that, where basically they have to put up or shut up and be just like men, or they go back to the cave where they can, make a sandwich and look after the kids. Now, I think we all know what's actually going to happen. They're just going to carry on moaning. But that's okay, because men will adapt. And we have adapted. We've adapted to a new world order. And that new world order is MGTOW, men going their own way. We realise that women are just not worth the hassle. Maybe we want to play with them, maybe we don't. but on the whole, they're just not worth the hassle. So again, we've adapted and we've left them behind.